very much up in the air, of course, because it is the beta. So we'll have to see what the players choose to do.
Alright, and going into game, guys. So spawning in the top left, we have our green Protoss from My Insanity. It is Blysk.
Yep. And down in the bottom right, not representing a team that I know of, I'm not really familiar with this player. It's the Blue Terran Squall.
Alright, so I'm not really actually too familiar with TVP like Legacy of the Void 2 yet, as I know like the early game is pretty much kind of have the Adepts control the map as much as possible while Cyclones try and counter it, but towards like the mid to late game I am a bit lost there. So I'm hoping to see some more Liberator action. I actually really enjoy that unit a lot.
Yeah, the Liberator is really cool to see. You can set them up just behind mineral lines on a lot of maps where they're pretty much unreachable by most anti-air units on the ground, and they can just sort of hit one or two mineral patches. And by doing that, you really put a lot of pressure on the other player to manage their workers very well with that mineral line. Because otherwise, if they have more than 6 workers on the mineral line, they'll constantly bounce across to those 2 covered patches and just die.
Yep.
So it's very... Like, I've seen a lot of Protoss players getting out like a single Phoenix just to try and deal with those Liberators. But of course, the other problem is Liberators are anti-air units too. So they can be quite a pain.
Yeah, I actually... Oh man, I completely lost my train of thought there. That's a good start. But anyway, continuing on, Blysk not really going for, actually, I take that back, he did go for a quick expand then for a Cybernetics course. So he's going for a bit of a, the Heart of the Swarm build here, mixing into Legacy of the Void, like the Gateway Nexus, then into Cybernetics core.
Yeah, so this is, from what I've seen, most Protoss players in Legacy are preferring to get the fast Adepts up. But this is still, I think this is a fine way to open. Just a little bit more economy focused. Meanwhile, Squall's actually going for 3 barracks on 1 base. So it looks like he's pulling out more of a Wings of Liberty build.
Yeah, he's going for a double gas here as well.
Yeah, and he's not starting that orbital, which is something that's become more and more common now that Terrans are realizing, well, if there's no mules, why get it?
Yep, get those SCVs
it's
out a lot
really not
quicker.
worth spending. Yeah, you have to delay SCV production and spend 150 minerals in return for what is, like, immediately it's only 100 minerals worth of benefit in that supply drop, right? So most Terrans are delaying those orbitals until they have 2 bases saturated at least.
Yeah, we have a little stinky probe here from Blysk up above the 3rd base here, just on patrol at the moment. I wonder what he's looking for with this probe here. I wonder if this will be like one of those little meta pylons with the new warp-in, where they put in a pylon, then they warp in a gateway next to the pylon so they can warp in quicker.
It could be, but I think warp prisms are the more popular way to do things. And we saw Blysk starting a rover, but actually cancelled it in favour of a Stargate.
Yep, first. Is that the 2nd Adept out on the field? It is a 2nd Adept.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision there, but he is sending the Mothership Core across the map, so he's trying to get some scouting done. And that should... The Mothership Core might not see the barracks, but it'll see the amount of bio. And that should be a tip-off to him that there's something very aggressive coming out from the Terran player.
Yeah, and he's actually still putting down his forward pylon now, and yeah, this Mothership Core will be a huge factor in seeing what is going on. He's only seen the 1 rack so far, but he's going in at such a nice angle that he will see both 2nd and 3rd barracks. And I think he can still get out of there with that many Marines.
Yeah.
He's got a recall available to him if he needs it.
He shouldn't need it.
A bit of hull damage.
But Blysk now knows everything that's going on.
Yep.
And I'm guessing to see a bunch more gateways come down here. Yeah. And then he starts them.
He's got an Oracle
He's actually...
coming.
making that Oracle. And I mean, the Oracle's not a bad choice anyway.
I mean, he's
for defending a push.
He's going straight into 4 Adepts as well while going into Stargate here, so he's putting the new unit to good use here. Well, when he eventually moves out across the map for it, if Squall decides to get a bit aggressive.
Squall's actually starting missile turrets. He's a little bit scared here, which he shouldn't be. He should be just looking to move out as soon as possible. He has to get something done with this build, or he's just going to fall way behind. He's already at like a massive economy disadvantage with 26 SCVs to 41 probes.
Oh, yeah.
And no mules making that up. Like, he has to move across the map in the next minute or he's going to be in big trouble.
Alright, scan going down. He sees the amount of Adepts, sees a Robo starting up now, but he didn't see this Oracle moving out, and I don't believe he's seen the Stargate. Actually, I think he scanned before. Yeah, he has seen the Stargate with a scan earlier. His first scan when his orbital finished, so that's why his turret's coming up. And he's actually going to be in a somewhat good position here, because, that Oracle can't really get in to do the damage here, because there's another turret on the other side.
Yeah, he's actually going to get a couple of SCVs anyway. and get out alive. Yep. And honestly, he doesn't need to be doing any damage at all at this point. He's got that Nexus advantage, right?
Yeah, he's seen the no expansion. He's seen the amount of units that Squall has out on field. He's like, alright, if I just sit here and make up my army on 2 bases, I'll just beat him in the first fight.
Yeah, Blysk has now got a Robo finishing up too. So in addition to this 3 gates and the Stargate, he's now getting upgrades on the Twilight Council and a Forge, and starting that Robo production. So I think Squall's window has already closed, to be honest. Like, at this point, even if he moves across the map, Blysk is going to have that Oracle, he's going to have the Nexus Cannon, and he's going to have a bunch of Adepts to defend.
Yeah, the interesting thing here, he's got such a large bio comp, but he still hasn't started researching Stim yet. He's got his Concussive Shells and Combat Shields, but no Stim.
Yep. And if Squall finally starts his Natural Command Center here, but that's at the 6-minute mark. And remember, this is real time now, not Heart of the Swarm time, so...
Yeah, and Blysk is taking his third at the same time, basically, so...
Yeah.
Massive econ advantage for Blysk. And a Stim Pack finally starts up here as well here for Squall, so I'm guessing he was just getting enough units out so he can safely say, alright, I can get a second base up and possibly a third not too far out of this, but Oracle sneaks in and still getting a little bit more damage done.
I think he's going to find it was a little bit too safe when he realizes how much Blysk has been powering up on the other side of the map, you know?
Yeah. Charge lot legs almost done. Now, are they still doing the 30 damage on hit on the charge?
They're doing 30 damage on hit.
Oh wow. Okay, so they can basically one-shot a Marine, so they hit him and then swipe, and that's a Marine gone by the sound of things.
Basically, yeah, before combat shields for sure.
And then Adepts to support that as well. My god, it's going to be such high damage. He's actually
taking a proxy Nexus.
Yeah, a proxy Nexus. So I think he's just going to siege, basically use this Nexus as well as a photon overcharge location.
I think it gives him the fast warp in, right?
Oh, that too. Yes. I mean, he didn't need a Nexus, but he could have put a gateway there. But
and it looks like he's just going to go for the attack now. And I think with these lower leg upgrades, there's going to be pretty damn good for him. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his +1 armor as well. Oh wow, even some high Templar coming in for some Archons. He's just got so much. And there's no healing support at all for Squall just yet.
Yeah. It's looking pretty dire here for Squall. I think he's a little bit outmatched here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shame coming into the tournament and coming up against the best player in Singapore by far on your first match. But
and possibly one of the favourites to win the tournament too.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect to see Blysk right up there in the finals in a month or so.
Oh, the Adepts are just flying in, getting their scout off too.
Getting that surround with the Adepts. Zealots come in the front. Adepts immediately sort of disrupt the whole force.
Yeah, tanked up on the high ground.
I don't know if it's going to be enough though.
Oh, Oracle focusing it down. He's actually going to get it, and an Adept firing on the low ground too to help that out, but this is just way too much Protoss, and it looks like Blysk going to take out game number 1 here. 100 supply up is teleporting into the main to get behind the units, get on top of the production and the SCVs as well, and this is it's looking too much damage here for Squall to handle. The Adepts are just going to work on those SCVs.
Yeah, Blysk having a bit of an easy time of it this game. And that's going to be at the supply dwindling now below 10 for the Terran player. Squall's going to have to GG out.
Yep. There we go, GG.
Blysk takes map 1 pretty handily.
Ooh.
Nothing too surprising there. Squall, it turns out, is not a hidden hero who we've all been missing forever. But he gave it a good shot.
Yep. I mean, he's got another game too to see if he's got something else up his sleeve that he could possibly duke out Blysk with. I mean, Terran does have some sneaky plays they can do in Heart of the Swarms. Oh, sorry, Legacy of the Void we're playing now.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of the Red Bull Archon tournament before.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a Proxy Turax work against Protoss, so that's always something.
Yeah. Alright, we have our second map. Which one is that again? It is Orbital.
Orbital?
Orbital Shipyard.
I can't remember what map that is. I think I'll know when I see it.
Okay. Get this lobby up and going. Hopefully it doesn't give us that glitch error again. What comes up? When that happens, a big error screen comes up on the thing saying global permissions error. But it looks like everyone got in this time.
Yeah. Orbital Shipyard is this big one.
Yes.
Big,
yes.
The high ground in the middle, over the gold base.
And it's got like a backwards natural, I think.
Yep.
Okay, so countdown has begun for Orbital Shipyard. I actually enjoyed this map. I was watching Morrow's stream recently, and he was playing a Zerg versus Terran, like Morrow playing Zerg. I think he was versing. I think it was either Marine Lord or Lilbo, and Morrow just had so many hatcheries. He was just constantly making Ling Bane, and just ended up overrunning.
Right.
Overrunning Lilbo, and it was just funny too because the auto inject mechanic. He was just pretty much. I don't think he ever took his eye off his army the entire game. Once he got to that point,
it's really easy now to do that kind of sustained aggression. The downside, of course, is you have less lava to do it with, but if you have a macro hatch and the right kind of drone to hatch balance, it's
it's very, very strong.
Yeah, you can have pretty strong follow-ups. Yeah.
All right, so we're in game now. 1-0 up to Blysk. He's spawning down in the bottom left. From my insanity, it is Blysk.
Yep. And up the top right, I think a little bit outmatched this game, but he's still trying his hardest. It's the Red Terran Squall.
Alright. So, I think we're going to just see Blysk go for the same build. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yep. And Squall's opening up the same way he did last game, with that fast barracks and that even faster wall off. It looks like he's very paranoid about proxy gates or something.
Even denying scouting as well.
Extremely fast.
Yeah, he doesn't even want a probe scout to come in.
Yeah.
Alright. I think he got his first gas a little bit faster this time around though.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Anyway,
we do see Blysk once again starting that Nexus before the Cybercore.
And he's pretty much going to be able to get away with it too, because Squall looking to do that same opening once again. Third barrack should be coming down soon enough as well.
Yeah, I'd really like to see him move out with it this time. Put that aggression on. I think after last game he might realise how economical Blysk is playing, but we'll have to see whether he has the guts to go with that decision.
Yep. Alright, there we go. There's that third barracks coming down. Alright, so Blysk going up to a quick second simulator after throwing down that cybernetics core. Extra pylon, of course, doesn't want to get that supply block. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see an Adept start up as soon as that cybernetics core is done.
Yeah, it is definitely the unit of choice for Protosses these days.
It's
just so good against Reapers, Marines, pretty much everything in the early game. And yeah, we do see that Adept coming out.
Alright. Oh, there's actually an SCV just kind of sitting idle behind one of the mineral lines there for a while. But he's fixed it up and that SCV went and made a supply depot, so he put it to use.
Yep.
No slacking off for him.
Squall, once again, starting with that concussive shell. I really would like to see an early stim if he's doing this kind of build. I feel like it's...
Yeah. I mean,
he should be focused on that aggression. But...
There we go. There's going to be that second tech load. So yeah, definitely the same opener this time around. So hopefully he does get aggressive. I'm hoping he goes stim before combat shield this time around.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think it's just as like a new player coming into this game.
Yep.
If you try and play exactly as you did before, you just get rolled by adepts.
Yeah,
and there are ways to deal with them, but they're very. It's like
they're
you have
very
to be
tough
on
to
point
deal
with every aspect of your play. So I feel like Squall is just terrified of them and is going into this super early mass order production.
Yeah, it's like
to deal with it.
A Reaper, but I want to say stronger.
Yeah, but I've seen like, I don't know if you saw, I think there was a GIF posted on Starcraft a few days ago of some Korean Terran, I can't remember who it was, bashing his face into his keyboard. But
right,
that was in response to Huck with the, like, it was just one Warp Prism and 4 Adepts, and it just killed him. And I think that was off a Nexus first too. Like, early Adept aggression, if they have a way to get over the wall off, it's insanely hard to deal with. So if you let your depots down for a minute, or even if they just have that Warp Prism and you don't repel it perfectly, it can be super, super scary. You just lose the game immediately.
Yeah, it looks like that's what he's going for too, because he's kept on the Robo this time, which means he'll have these quick Warp Prism, so we might see a little bit of a timing here from Blysk, or a little bit earlier aggression from him.
Yep.
And, I mean, Squall, he's got his units out on the field. He's starting Stim a lot earlier this game. It looks like he went before Combat Shield, and he did.
Yeah, I like that. But he's still... Like, he's going to be able to repel this War Prism, but he still is down a base. And that's like the end of... Like, the real story in this game is the fact that he just doesn't have an expansion. Yeah,
Twilight Council also coming down here for Bliss, so he's got a transition plan.
He's doing what I wanted him to do.
But now it's not going to have anything back at home to defend this Warp Prism, unfortunately, and it's going to slip all the way by. So Squall looking to make it happen this game, but Blysk is just one step ahead of him.
Yeah, pretty brutal timing here for Squall. These 4 adepts unload and a bunch more are going to warp in most likely.
Yeah, these adepts goes to scouting for units and he's just like, okay, there's nothing.
And Squall turns his army around.
Oh, this is... He just had to go.
Yeah, like all his SCV is going to be dead by the time he gets back.
Yeah,
adepts do not pull their punches against light units.
No, there's so many SCVs going down already. 15.
Insane, man.
16, 17.
Really nice micro here from Blysk, keeping those adepts alive.
Yeah.
But that's like all the SCVs.
Yeah,
there's only 3 left.
2 left. I don't know where they are. Oh, they're on. One's on gas and one's somewhere else. But if we look at the army of, the base of Blysk, there was really nothing back at home to defend except the mothership core and an adept if he kept going. So there could have been a base race, and of course Terran can lift.
Yeah, I think Blysk would have managed to defend with the warp-ins eventually, but certainly he would have got some damage done. Squall might get this mothership core, warp prism now, but it's actually going to get away.
Yeah.
Outruns those marines. Oh no, wait! Blysk.
Oh, a bit of miscontrol there. But he's got a pylon here, so he might try to warp in, but hopefully Blysk is knowing of the 16-second warp in time.
Yeah. And while that is a nice catch there for Squall, he still is sitting on 4 SCVs, and there's no mules to save him.
No, yeah. The economy for Elixir of the Void so far showing so unforgiving.
Yeah. That's what 4 adapts do if you're not ready for them.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to clean up this pylon, but I don't know what his plan is at this point. He can't sit here and remake SCVs. It's never going to work for him.
Blysk's getting at 52 probes now. He's got immortals on the way, charge lot research on the way.
I think the army Blysk already has here is enough.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing. Like, Squall's just dead. He's going to move out, but
he's going for his last-ditch attempt here.
Yep.
Even Archon's starting up here for Blysk as well. He's just going to have way too strong of an army here for Squall to even contend with. I mean, the army supply counts are somewhat even at the moment, but just tech-wise, I think it's just way too much.
Yep. And there's also, of course, that defensive Photon Overcharge, which should be coming out here.
Can't forget about that one. Some pylons out run here, but no, here comes the engagement. There's a lot of Marauders, and the Immortals are just going to go to town on those, while the Zealots absolutely mop the Marines up with their charge ability there. And Squall's on the run and about to fall to 10 supply.
Yeah, that's it. Blysk didn't even need the Photon Overcharge. Cleans it up, and there's now 11 supply remaining for Squall. Yeah, starting a Planetary Fortress at his natural, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah. The warp-ins are happening over here at this pylon. Oh man, they take so long.
It's pretty funny. It's like watching a replay at like an 8 speed, you know?
Yeah, even a Dark Shrine coming down here from Blysk, but he won't even need it.
I mean, he can just sort of 1A at this point.
This Planetary Fortress, though, is actually going to finish, but he's not going to have enough units. I mean, he's got his 3 barracks, but his economy just took a huge, massive hit, and yeah, I mean, he couldn't really afford anything but SCVs.
Yeah, that early adept attack just killed him. His army just wasn't in position. And the PF goes down almost immediately there. Way too much firepower from this Protoss army.
Yep, he's going to bust through the supply depots, and the 3 Immortals can basically one-shot the